We're here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with Frank Holmes, CEO of U.S. Global Investors. It's the 2-year launch of your ETF, the U.S. Global Gold and Precious Metal Miners ETF, otherwise known by the symbol GOAU. Congrats on this, Frank. 2 years already.
That's right, and it goes by quickly.
And it's performing extremely well, up 40% year to date. It's also outperforming other similar popular ETFs such as the GDXJ, up by 14%, right, year to date?
I'm so proud of it. We rigorously backtested this sort of the structure, and it goes down to $200 million market caps. It has big royalty companies, and it recalibrates every quarter. And what it's done is that it's outperformed all active gold fund managers in the country, in addition to every ETF.
So let's talk a little bit about that. What's really like fueling that performance here?
So I believe that the majority of trading today are quant funds. And the quant funds look at different metrics than a lot of gold analysts go ahead and say, you should buy this gold stock versus A versus B because of NAV valuations. That's not relevant to where money flows go. And what's relevant is your revenue last quarter over 4 quarters, your reserves last quarter or last year over 3 years. Are you increasing your production? Well, more important is your cash flow. And so if you have momentum, they will buy that stock. Or if you're the cheapest on enterprise value. So we recalibrate this every quarter.
Well, you mentioned your backtesting, and that was something I remember 2 years ago when you were starting this was super important to you. Tell us a little bit about that process.
Well, it took about 8,000 hours. So when you run one factor, it takes 8 hours to look at the data. And so we finally took down 100 factors down to 5. And then you don't equally weight them. You find out what works best in up markets and down markets. And the biggest worry we had is that when we get a run like this we have up in gold, that it would lag. Right. But actually, it's done exactly, it's working, and we're really thrilled about it.
Up 40% year to date, really something to celebrate here. Tell us a little bit about the mix of the miners, wheat and precious metals part of it.
Well, 30% are royalty companies. Yeah. So it has Franco, Nevada has Royal Gold, and it also has Wheaton River. So when we look at those companies, what we find is they have a superior business model. And the big shareholders of Franco Nevada and Wheaton, Silver Wheaton, as was known for, they have the highest revenue per share. So what you're seeing now is money is going that are non-gold fund people, financial institutions go buy Franco Nevada.
Well, you're here at the New York Stock Exchange because 2 years trading on the floor. Gold is also having an incredible summer. So let's talk about that. How much did the rise in the gold price help the fund?
Oh, absolutely. It's key. The correlation is 95% of the time these stocks go up and down with the price of gold. But what's really important is that a lot of these companies have become more lean, that they're more efficient. So that's a positive part to it.
Well, on that note, Frank, do you think we'll see less mergers and acquisitions with the run-up in gold now? Do you think companies are going to be a little bit more hesitant, more expensive to buy out?
No, I think that there's a real issue of reserves, and there's just not finding big discoveries. So that's why, embracing quant, artificial intelligence, machine learning, these are the things you got to do to basically look for these big deposits that have been well groomed all over the world.
Finally, Frank, I want to get your thoughts because I know you deal in the crypto world and the precious metal world, and there was a news item that may have slipped under the radar. I want to bring it up. Iran launching their own state-backed cryptocurrency with gold.
Well, it's really important for citizens of Iran. It might be like some people publicize that it's against Trump and all that stuff. No, really their currency has depreciated tremendously over hyperinflation, then small inflation, then hyperinflation. But now they're going to have a cryptocurrency backed by gold. That means it's going to be extremely stable. And we're seeing China increases its consumption of gold, Russia continues, we have Poland, we have so many new central bankers that are buying gold because of all this funny money being printed all over the world, and any mistake and you get a Venezuela, disaster. So those in Venezuela, for example, that have been buying Bitcoin or mining Bitcoin, they were protected, or they own gold and silver. So you're seeing this sort of alternative asset class, gold, silver, and Bitcoin as becoming an important part. And I love the idea backed by gold.
Of course you do. Frank Holmes, congrats on the success of GOAU. Continued luck with it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for joining us here from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We'll have much more for you, so stay tuned to Kiko.com.